What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the table where everybody eat. Y'all know what to do. Hit that like button for your boy. And if it's your first time to the channel, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you miss out on the plays and updates we bring to you guys each and every day in the market. Now here we are returning with one of the hottest stocks from last week, and so far one of the hottest penny stocks in 2026. Immunity Bio Incorporated, ticker symbol IBRX, which closed at $5.52, up another 40% on the day after it was up roughly 40 to 50% on the prior day, going from that critical level of 303 to 313, like we stated in that last video, actually mounting above that 313 area and then starting to climb higher. Once we seen that we were flirting around that 340 area and holding above 330 to 335, we'll update those levels in a second when we get to the chart. But once we seen that we were actually managing and maintaining, or shall I say, consolidating around that 345 zone, it showed us that the buyers were still coming in slowly and the sellers were fading away, I guess you can say. Now, if you had me over on X or Twitter, then you probably are aware of these levels, as I have been keeping my followers in the loop and updated every single day since that video of IBRX. Also, if you can do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, whenever you do, click that link below in the description or in the comment section. Follow your boy over on X or Twitter. That way you don't miss none of the plays or any early access to some of the videos that we drop on Twitter and in the Discord community for 24 to 48 hours before I make the videos actually public on YouTube. We also have a few free slots for our Discord community, Everybody Eats, and you will not get access to the call outs, the option plays, legacy traders, things of that nature, but you will have access to all the educational content, freebie Fridays, general chat, catalyst boosters. Even if you guys want me to look at a chart, we have something called chart requests where you go put your ticker symbol in there, and then me or one of my legacy traders will look over the chart and tell you what we see, what we think, etc. Speaking of that community, here we are. Everybody Eats. This is the watch list section right here. You see, I told them about Coppin yesterday, $4 soon come. Told them about another stock yesterday, saying that we were going to watch this one, looking for a key break on SES above 233. All that good stuff. Like I say, the legacy traders, the educational content, down to catalyst boosters, earnings reports, analyst ratings. There go that watch list right there. Here's chart requests. Put a ticker in for the chart request, overall market. Here's that general chat section where you guys will have access to, such as Irene, which has went stupid, for a number of days now. Going down to Resolve AI, you guys seen that video there. This is where we were at. Anticipated that break, that rejection, came down. So we need to hold this area. We wick bottom on that 200 MA. And then we got right back above that area. So we held the 342, like we said in the video. Got back above the line in the sand. Boom. And then now you guys already know Resolve is way up there testing $5. Down to swing trading, which here you go right here. We posted charts as well. You guys see SES. I put in the watch list. And then now you see here's the weekly chart, if I'm not mistaken, how we got back above this tight range of motion. We rolled this 21 SMA on the weekly, hand to the 200, all that good stuff there. Freebie Friday, like I mentioned, etc. So links below in the description and in the comment section if you guys want to join the Discord community. Bringing us to that weekly chart, and I'm going to clean this chart up in real time. A lot of these levels will now be changed, especially on this weekly time frame, because look at this bullish engulfing candle right here on the weekly, going from this 238 as high as 552, which brings us, meaning that this thing here made a move from way right here all the way down to that golden zone. So it engulfed this entire section right about here. All got engulfed in 1 week. This is solid. Very, very, very solid. But first, here we are on the daily chart. From the weekly, we went down one time frame to the daily. We're going to remove this arrow. We don't need that anymore. That was for live trading in the Discord community. But we had this nice move. Look at this curl right here, that 21 through the golden zone. Now, what I don't like already is this gap we got right here, that 410 area. I may keep it for an area to see if we hold. I'm not really going to draw anything else in this area right now for, I guess you can say, the gap, how I normally do my sniper fair value gap in an area like this. But what I am going to do is I'm going to definitely change the major pivot point for upside, possibly to a golden zone or a golden pocket. So now there's going to be a golden pocket. We could actually remove the text of major pivot point to the upside. Get rid of that right about now. Don't need that. Boom. That's our little golden pocket for now. Okay, cool. This gap up from October 2024 and fell squeeze attempt. It's crazy how we went up, wick bottom up at 443, and now we opened right on top of there. So you guys know how I am. I'm not going to say that we're going to come back down and fill this gap, but we got to keep that area in mind because I believe in the after hour session, we closed at like $5.98, almost $6. So this red line for me now will now be my line in the sand. Even though I'm not going to do this area here yet with the gap, that's going to be my line in the sand. I am going to change this 410. I don't even want that no more because it's kind of like in no man's land. So boom, we removed that 374 area. You know what we're going to do? We're going to remove that 374 and we're going to make our golden pocket actually. All right, so that's what we're going to do with that right there. This little area here, I'm going to go ahead and remove that also. And then we got all of this down here. If we were to lose the golden zone, then that right there obviously would be a possibility of to come back down and retest. I guess you could say more like the psych level of 3. I'm going to keep these levels here, although they are kind of irrelevant for me now. So to the upside, first let's go down to another time frame. So now this gap is even bigger down to 397. So if we lose that line in the sand of 443 and lose this range right here from the October 24th gap failure at 423, so my bad, 443. If we lose the line in the sand of 443 and then we lose this little gap area from October 2024, that's where we could possibly come down again, fill the gap at 397, cycle level of $4, and then go higher. But on this 4-hour time frame, the way that we gapped up, held that line in the sand, and also sellers tried to push us down, but buyers kept us up right here at that 524. And I believe, like I say, let's see where we're at right here, 587 to 614. So we closed in the after hours somewhere in this range right here. Now above 614, I don't have any levels, and that doesn't really matter for the most part, only because we want to see what price action does right here on a 4-hour time frame. Look at this extension since that $3 range. If y'all hear my son in the background, he has been cutting up this whole time. That's why it's taking so long in this video. But I'm not editing it. I'm not cutting him out. But we're going to continue because I'm on the road here. So, like I say, if we do come down and lose that golden zone, that's what we got there. So all this is still irrelevant. We ain't going to worry about that. What we're going to focus on this coming week is if we can hold this 524 or even that 443 before coming back to possibly fill that gap. And maybe not fill the gap. With so much momentum we have, this thing here could just have basically gap and go. And it's going to gap probably and go with all the momentum, all the short entries that's on this name. Bringing us to the 1-hour chart. And on the 1-hour chart, it respected all of our levels even more to where I'm starting to feel as if this gap may not fill. And one of the reasons why is the 50 SMA, my bad, not the 50, forgot I changed this. The 21 SMA is almost lining up with that gap. So even if we were to sell off, again, don't see it happening, but if we were, that 397 looks like it may hold because we may come and retest that 21 SMA. But secondly, if we look, we gapped up, held that 443, then look right here. Let's zoom in a bit. This is crazy. We held that 494 right here, and we rejected again. But then once we kind of just slowly and gradually went up higher, we held or consolidated around that 525 area right about here, and now we're going higher. And then the 30-minute time frame shows us even more how that 525 area held. So with us continuing, then that's going to be now my range. I'm going to keep this line in the sand at that 4. Actually, you know what? It's a line in the sand, but we want to treat this one now as a potential support. If it fails that, then that's what we know, and we got to reclaim the area again in the future. And then this area here will now be a solid line for me as my line in the sand. This one here will also be a line in the sand. And the reason these are a line in the sands is because it was a high here that turned into support. So resistance turned support, and this here was a resistance turned support. And you see on the 30-minute, we actually consolidated right here. So if we lose this area, that's a line in the sand right there around 525, showing us to wait for any pullbacks, things of that nature. On the 30-minute now, the 21 SMA is right around the top of this here. October 24th fell gap squeeze attempt. Also, it's around this area here. So I'm not saying, because again, we don't predict. We just go with what the chart gives us and what we see with price action and our indicators. If we can get more momentum through this area here, that decreases the likelihood of us pulling back and increases the likelihood of us continuing higher. So let's just see what we get, and I'm gonna go down one more time frame to wrap this up. On the 15-minute, it's right there. You went up. We had a slight bull flag. When I say slight, this is what I mean by slight bull flag. Bang, bang, which it didn't come all the way down, but at the end of the day, did that. Boom, up, consolidated, held the 21 on the 15-minute, and now it's going higher. So we shall see what we get on Tuesday at market open, pre-market for sure. This is a hot name. We have those gaps, or not those gaps, we have a gap going from, like I say, around 397 up into the bottom of this wick, 439. So thank you guys for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next one. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Much love. We out.